Well, some political ads have a life of their own, and this week the internet started buzzing after GOP Louisiana Senator John Kennedy and the NRA posted this campaign ad with a new rapper on it. Take a look.
Folks, I believe that love is the answer, but you ought to own a handgun just in case.
Now, we believe that was an old campaign ad, but again, the NRA repackaged it, and the internet loved it. The message about gun ownership in America, an important one. He says love is the answer, but you need a handgun just in case. Now, political ads used to be a once every 2 year kind of thing. It would come into your area on your TV screen when we had political elections, but now they are ubiquitous. In Arizona, just this year, political ad spending has already topped $6.7 million, and this is an off year. There are no elections in Arizona this year. That's compared to the $5.7 million that was spent in all of 2017. We're not even halfway through the year yet. Let's welcome in our brand power team to talk more about this. Media relations expert and the founder of Allison May Public Relations, also a Newsmax contributor. Allison Maloney is here. Also back with us, branding expert and applied research psychologist, Dr. John Tantillo. Allison, John, great to see you both. The political ad campaign season is here with us forever. We'll talk about that in a second, but Allison, first, I want to talk about this John Kennedy ad. He's kind of got his own cult of personality surrounding him, but, you know, an old campaign ad being repackaged by the NRA going viral, this is exactly the outcome they would have wanted, isn't it?
Well, it is. There has been a lot of talk about it, but something that I caught on it, and I know that it's kind of going wild on the internet, is that the word believe is spelled incorrectly in the text there. Oh. So, you know, in the world of advertising, usually there's a chain of command, and they usually catch those type of things. As you can see, I believe it's missing that E. So that was what is really drawing a lot of buzz. And of course, look, the reality is that you need to sometimes rehash ads to bring attention based on, you know, things that are happening in the news, what the NRA is doing. So it worked for them. However, they are getting a lot of attacks from Democrats, you know, attacking the NRA. And of course, Kennedy saying, like, you misspelled that. How could you do that? Yeah,
let's focus on the spelling and not on the issue itself, which is we know that's the problem, though. When you have these spelling errors, it opens you up to those kinds of attacks. John, according to data from the FCC, advertising and analytics companies spending on TV ads has more than doubled since 2017. I mean, I know folks don't like campaign ads, or they say they don't like them, but if they weren't effective, wouldn't they be going the way of the dinosaurs?
Well, let's look at it this way. There are two things that consumers don't like or viewers don't like. Number one, politics, and number two, ads. So you combine both of them, the ads with the politics, and you got a combination where people don't like watching these ads. And secondly, with all due respect, most political ads are really, really bad. And the reason that they're bad is that they focus on votes. They don't focus on the consumer or the viewer. And that's a bad thing.
You know, I think you're right. Most political ads are painful for people to watch, but I think there are exceptions to this now. And Allison, as we see more money spent on these ads, the production value increases. And, you know, I think when you have such a kind of divided political landscape, you're preaching to the choir. And, you know, people do want to hear about their preferred candidates. They do want to know more about their own personal life stories. You know, is that why we're seeing this?
Well, I think so. You know, and as John mentioned, some of these political ads are horrible. They're boring. But when you take an ad and you make it a story and you evoke emotion and you really bring in, you know, the people that are actually in your area that are affected by what's going on, that's a whole different story. Somebody did say, you know, we start ads earlier because they're more effective and people remember them. I disagree with that because I think that we have short-term memory. So if you're doing an ad 6 months out, when I go to the polls, I'm not going to remember that vote, that ad. However, if you can create emotion and tell a story, that ad is then going to go from TV to YouTube to social media and generate a lot of eyeballs. So it is a lot more effective. But we do know, John, that ads don't buy an election. We saw what happened with Bloomberg.
Yeah. Real quickly, we're going to play one ad. The Republican Governors Association is taking on Gretchen Whitmer. Here it is.
Gretchen Whitmer failed Michigan, failed me, and failed my father. She doesn't deserve to lead this state any longer.
It's called Suzette's Testimonial. It features a woman in Michigan who could not visit her father before he died in a nursing home. Effective or no, John?
I think it's very effective because it's not about the candidate; it's about the person doing the story.
Allison, what do you think?
Absolutely, I agree. When you take people that are not politicians and they tell their story, it's much more relatable to voters. Absolutely, I agree.
All right, so that ad coming to a Michigan television set near you. If you're in Michigan, great to see you both. Allison and John, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.